I'm here with Diane and Cass, the founders of FailCon and the producers of FailCon as well. So how did you guys come up with the idea? And which one of you came up with the idea, and how did you guys connect to start this wonderful conference?
So I think there's two different stories. I think it was kind of like a synonymous thing. Mine was I was doing my 5th conference of my own, the 3rd Snap Summit, and sitting in the room and going, I'm really bored. Like, this is my own stuff. I curated this show, and I'm bored. What's wrong? And it was all that the speakers never had actionable goals for me to do. It all was kind of just stories about why they were great and not stories about how I could be great. And a lot of greatness is luck. So it was like, I need to do a show on failure because that's what I'm going to learn from.
Exactly.
And then, yeah, I have a slightly different story. I think Cassie and I first met when Cassie was starting a startup, and I'm really into user testing, and Cassie needed some beta testers. And so that's when we first met up in a cafe, and I beta tested her site. And anyway, so that's how we met, and then we just stayed in contact from there. But I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I was tired of hearing, here's how to be the next Facebook. Facebook's great. But, you know, we don't... Did the Facebook people actually know how they were going to be famous or that they were going to succeed? And so as an entrepreneur, I wanted to make sure that I could learn from every other person's story out there. And the best way to find that was just to bring them all to me, put them all up on stage and have them in one place at one time.
Yeah, no, I think failure leads to success, and I think it's a great concept. And do you guys have some personal failure stories you could share?
Oh, definitely. The site that Diane was doing user testing for was a pretty epic fail. We called it Trogger, and I can't really tell you what it did. 1, nobody can spell it. 2, I can't really tell you what it did, which is another big thing of failure. It kind of aggregated conversations and dialogue from around the web into a foreign-like structure, blah. And we all kept working on it part-time, which is just another reason that, like, these are all signs of failure. After 6 months and $70,000, we decided to close shop.
What about you, Diane?
I don't know, actually. You know, I haven't processed failure enough so busy working on the show that I myself don't actually know what my biggest failure has been.
Well, I think we fail every day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't have my number 1. I have, like, you know, my top 5, but I don't have my number 1.
Well, that's okay. And I know that you want to go international with this conference. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I will mention it in that, especially I'm looking for people who are on the ground and willing to help out. Right now, the thoughts, because I have the best community there, are Paris, Buenos Aires, New York, and San Francisco. I'd love to get one into Japan or China, so any Japanese or Chinese entrepreneurs who want a hand in the show, let me know. Talk to me. I want to get you involved. So it's just kind of a process in the works right now, but it's definitely on my radar. If I do travel with it, I want to keep it very small. Maybe a half day, 6 speakers, 100 people.
Yeah, and we also, you know, this is more Cass actually. I don't really help out, but I'm glad that she does it, all the fail chats throughout the year, just to kind of keep the buzz going and to keep, because you can't just hear these stories once a year. So every few months, Cassie will do.
Yeah, no, I've been to your fail chats, and I think they're great.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I always learn something when I go. And
Good. Topic-focused chats.
Yeah, when's the next fail chat?
Well, okay, so maybe November. I'm talking with Rob Garcia to do one on alternative forms of funding. So if you failed at raising funding, what else can you do?
Okay.
I don't know if I can get it ready in time for November, but that is the goal. Otherwise, it'll be early January, probably.
Okay, so look for that in early January. Well, thank you, girls. It's such a wonderful conference. We met some really great people. Thanks for working hard and putting it together.
Great. Thanks,
All right.
Diana.
Okay.